extra time.
Yeah, hi Jofra, well played today. I mean, that was a dominating England win. I mean, how good was the performance, do you think?
Very good team performance. Obviously on a slow wicket to bowl them out for such a low total, give the batters some confidence. I hope it gave the batters some confidence.
What about your 3 for 23? How pleased were you with that?
I'm just honest. I'm just glad to help in the win. If I get 1 or if I get 3, the way how I bowl doesn't change. I think it just depends on how lucky you are at the time.
What about England opening with Adil Rashid and taking 3 wickets in the opening power play too? That was pretty good, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'd love to see when that plan comes off, to be honest. And Rashid is world class. He could bowl anywhere.
What kind of statement of intent do you think this puts down in World Cup year, beating India like this?
Not too sure as yet. Well, it's just the first game of the series. There's still 4 other games to go. They're number 2 in the world for a reason, so I don't think we can get ahead of ourselves as yet. It was a good win. We'd enjoy it, but we still got to come again in 2 days' time, I think. Or 3 days, I'm not sure how quick the turnaround is.
Sure, and Jason Roy making 49, was that the Jason Roy of old, do you think?
Yeah, I'm glad to see him getting some runs, It should do the world of good for his confidence as well, and hopefully he can take that form to the series.
Jofra, how excited do you get when Owen wins the toss and bowls first, and you know that you're going to get the chance to set the tone for a match right at the start?
To be honest, I think I was more excited to bowl first because obviously it drew here quite a bit when we trained the other night. It didn't get that bad tonight, but trying to get on top of the conditions is usually good, gives us a little bit of an advantage.
And how was it sharing the new ball with Adil? Obviously, it's a very different proposition, but it gives a good contrast between you two, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's great. You get to bowl. I get to bowl my first over even quicker than if a seamer was bowling. So, I got the ball in my hand a bit faster.
One more from me, Jofra. England have, even in the Test series, England have had a good bit of success against Virat. It's not very often we see him scoring ducks, but you've managed to get a good result against him in the last few matches. That's got to be pleasing.
Well, yeah, obviously he's a dangerous batter, and to see the back of him early so many times is a real bonus. And I think it kind of probably might dampen their camp a little bit. Obviously, they need the guy that they probably look to score some runs. So again, I think that's a little advantage that we might have getting in early.
Hi, Jofra. How's the elbow?
That was the same it's been since I got to India.
A few members of the England management have talked about carefully managing you throughout this very busy year, so you get to the World Cup and the Ashes fit and firing. What do you feel about that?
I think I was the one that kind of, well, we all are on the same page. Obviously, I came to them and said, well, to be honest, it's not feeling right at the moment, and I didn't have to say it twice. They automatically jumped on it and already started making plans. So, everyone's on the same page.
And how do you look to those 2 big competitions at the end of the year, the T20 World Cup and the Ashes? You'll have to play a big role in both if England are going to be successful. How do you look towards that? How exciting is that?
Still a way away. And obviously, I need to take care of my elbow first before I think about what's going to happen. So for me, in the immediate, I'm going to get through the series, and then I will do everything in my power to make sure that I'm going to the World Cup and the Ashes.
How good was it to be back out there with Mark Wood, and are you two still trying to outpace each other?
I still try. I don't think I'm in the best position to do it, but I still try to cheer him on, try to wind him up a bit.
And a word on his performance?
It was good to see, actually, to be honest, to see the balls carrying through and, seeing the speed game. So, it's really good to watch and really exciting to see what we can do for the rest of the series. We've got 4 more games to come.
Hi, Jofra. Could I just ask about the plans to Hardik Pandya tonight? Seemed like quite
conscious effort to bowl back of a length and seemed to work pretty well.
It wasn't just to him, to be honest. The wicket was a bit slow, so it's going to be hard to hit the length balls. Obviously, if you bowl a bit further, then it becomes a bit easier. So the plan for everyone was just try to hold length for as long as possible. And just luckily for us, we didn't really have to change that.
Yeah, I was going to ask, did you feel you had to go to plan B at any point, or was it very much just stick to what you discussed?
Nah, stick to it. Even some of the boundaries that did get hit, there was some there was a few through their mind, to be honest. So, as a bowler, you're happy to go for runs there as long as you don't get hit where you don't want to get hit, if you get me. If we're at peace getting hit behind the wicket, that's fine. Absolutely fine. But getting hit down the ground is definitely not the plans.
I remember in May 2020, you talked about how KL Rahul was perhaps the toughest bowler that you had bowled to in T20 cricket. So was there any specific thing that you planned for him prior to this game, and how do you intend to tackle him throughout the series?
Nah, the plans don't really change in the power play. You try to bowl it straight as well. It depends on if the batter makes it straight or not. But the plans are pretty much the same. Batters are allowed to play well also. They're allowed to have a day out. So because they've done well doesn't mean that I haven't, if that makes sense.
Okay, so coming as a little extension of that, so as a fast bowler, very rarely do teams in general play 5-match series, especially T20 series. So as a fast bowler, what are the challenges that you're looking forward to in the rest of the series?
I won't say I'm looking forward to anything really. Take every day at a time. We might not get the same wicket again. The next game it could be a totally different wicket, and then that's a challenge in itself. So I just think just take every game at a time and try not to look too far ahead.
Hit the subscribe option and the bell icon to get all the exclusive sports videos on Extra Time.